The change in total capital cost of volume can similarly be used to record surface levels. Bitcoin could drop to the 26,900 level in the next hours or days, so we will have to wait and see how the market reacts. As these levels begin to weaken and eventually fall, Bitcoin's continued quality as a unit of record is being tested. We normally look at things and focus on WXY and unprecedented valuations. Get the latest news. All risks are against us and we are prepared for them. Bitcoin is in a difficult situation right now. We lost 26,900 lives, and were quickly overwhelmed by a lack of relief supplies. Let's look at the pressures inherent in Bitcoin. After carefully considering the general outline of the solution, the optimal space must be carefully considered. In other words, it's not an old block, but a real connected block, and it's not limited to 28,000. The only good thing we can do is reach a minimum of $28,000. By waiting for the complete reversal of the Fibonacci pattern, you can recognize the beautiful range of the Fibonacci trading method that goes through several levels of stable directional levels. I totally agree with that. We believe that Bitcoin should continue to move in the most favorable direction. It is important to check your destination well before you leave. As expected, a potential new event could exceed previous highs. The current decline in Bitcoin trading volume is worrying. It puts me in a good position. I am very aware of what is happening with Bitcoin, but I will continue to grow my portfolio. I quickly learned that Fibonacci signs and gold levels rarely change to reflect various pattern events. This is the last and most common option. It is very important to note that in the long term the value of Bitcoin will continue to increase, once the supply of gold reaches 29,000 or 400. This is how we manage to reach everyone. The unexpected reaction of the 1:1 Fibonacci retracement has led some to believe that Bitcoin WXY's downtrend is over. However, as I said earlier, I am cautious about the results. I expect you to act quickly, and I agree that redistributing large portions of the prefrontal cortex to other tasks can produce positive signals. Based on everything we've said so far, can you make a smart trade by selling, buying or buying at any time? Note the clearly bullish nature of the RSI marker and its rise and fall. If you wait for the MACD indicator to follow reliably, you will see strange and bold celebrations of Bitcoin ups and downs. I agree that the text is inaccurate on this matter. It's never a good idea to leave a door ajar. In fact, excusal fire has seen unusually high trading volumes both in real life and on the Bybit stage. For example, thanks to Coinbase, you can see a significant increase in trading volume starting 2 to 3 hours ago, which seems to be a normal interval. Unlike viable cash transactions on a panic-inducing scale in and around town, the important question of how quickly security will emerge after the money is received must be considered. Then I can say without hesitation that I agree with what he says. Write down everything you see. I am not in the best position to trade this sector as I am in a sell or buy position in the bullish sector. We know all the automatic money is yours. For certain assets like gold, you can add or subtract what happens by killing a bit of Bitcoin. Corruption has increased significantly since the last peak. To some extent, our suspicions were justified. In the current situation, it could also look for other quick acquisitions to build the growth per share, as is usually suggested. Finally, everyone can remember the gold Fibonacci levels of $29, $200, and $300. As mentioned above, proceed with caution. The central long-term reference level is 26,900, which leans towards a support position against Bitcoin, which could be lost pending difficulties, negative signals, or unknown signals. Thank you very much. I hope your day turns out to be just as beautiful. Changes in the volume of direct cost of capital can be used to determine additional notional levels. Bitcoin could drop to the 26,900 level in the next hours or days, so we will have to wait and see how the market reacts. Bitcoin's lasting quality as a unit of record will be tested as these levels aid in decay and ultimately lead to a collapse. We're always looking for something, watching WXY and doing some interesting research. Stay tuned for new developments. Every threat is against us and we are ready to face it. Bitcoin is clearly in a difficult situation right now. With 26,900 lives lost and insufficient resources to respond, we were quickly overwhelmed. Consider the pressures on the reasonable development of Bitcoin. Generally, you should carefully remember your decision and then carefully consider your ideal base area. That is, they are not identical building blocks, but actually connected blocks, and are not limited to 28,000. The most important step we can take is to reach the minimum of $28,000. We are waiting for the moment when the Fibonacci pattern starts to finish. The beautiful part of Fibonacci retracements is that a series of levels pass through a level of perpetual focus. I completely agree. We believe that Bitcoin should continue to go on its most likely course. It is important to check these destinations carefully. As expected, potential new developments could outperform past best performers. The drop in Bitcoin trading volume is unexpected at this point. That puts me in a position of honor. I'm not sure what's going on with Bitcoin now, but I'll continue to grow my portfolio. I quickly learned that Fibonacci signs and gold levels sometimes change to reflect different pattern events. This is the last and most common option. In the long term, it is important to consider whether the value of Bitcoin will continue to rise when the supply of gold reaches 29,000 or 400. So, let's get started. The surprising reaction to the 1:1 Fibonacci retracement has led some to believe that Bitcoin WXY's downtrend is over. However, as I said above, I am cautious about the results. I agree with this. Please act quickly. Switching a large portion of the prefrontal cortex to another effort can produce positive signals. Does everything we've talked about so far allow you to get a smart bid on every item you sell, buy or buy? Take a look at the clearly bullish nature of the RSI indicator and examples of rising and falling RSI indicators. If you follow the MACD regularly, you will see unique and interesting celebrations of Bitcoin price ups and downs. I agree that this post is wrong. It's never a good idea to leave a door ajar. Excusal Fire saw a very interesting trading volume on the Bybit market. For example, thanks to Coinbase, trading volume increases significantly 2 to 3 hours ago, giving the impression that it is in a normal range. When the sound causes panic in and around cities, it can be hard to believe the compelling reasons why if you don't trust money and don't have patience with it, safety will follow. On this point I can say without hesitation that I agree with him. Write down everything you see. Because you are currently in a high sell or buy position, you are not in the best position to trade that particular position. We know that both have automatic assets similar to gold, so they can increase or decrease their short positions by killing Bitcoins. The decline extended from the previous high. Our predictions have come true. In the current circumstances, it is generally possible to find other suitable acquisitions to expand the dividend per share as proposed. Finally, everyone knows that the gold Fibonacci levels are $29, $200, and $300. As mentioned above, proceed with caution. The key long-term reference level is 26,900, which is based on support for the value of Bitcoin and could be lost in case of some decline, negative signal or downtrend. Thank you. I have to admit I had a good day. The change in total capital cost of volume can similarly be used to record surface levels. Bitcoin could drop to the 26,900 level in the next hours or days, so we will have to wait and see how the market reacts. As these levels begin to weaken and eventually fall, Bitcoin's continued quality as a unit of record is being tested. We normally look at things and focus on WXY and unprecedented valuations. Get the latest news. All risks are against us and we are prepared for them. Bitcoin is in a difficult situation right now. We lost 26,900 lives, and were quickly overwhelmed by a lack of relief supplies. Let's look at the pressures inherent in Bitcoin. After carefully considering the general outline of the solution, the optimal space must be carefully considered. In other words, it's not an old block, but a real connected block, and it's not limited to 28,000. The only good thing we can do is reach a minimum of $28,000. By waiting for the complete reversal of the Fibonacci pattern, you can recognize the beautiful range of the Fibonacci trading method that goes through several levels. As Bitcoin optimism fades, liquidity will drop significantly and return to strong, competitive levels. Anyway, in this Bitcoin price video we look at the possibility of a large cost decline and continuation of positive cost signals. Historical data shows that Bitcoin's normal value has inexplicably fallen below the $28,000 range, and Bitcoin is currently trading well below its normal value. There are currently 35 million broken trades, which is the highest level in terms of liquidity. Always use the latest verified executable code. The webcast is currently live. There are 2 4-hour courses and 2 2-hour courses. It is highly influenced by the RSI indicator and overbought conditions. Despite the negative numbers, Bitcoin's value range performed very well, and the confusion about the overall improvement of 47% turned out to be completely absurd. But little by little we are getting the complex problem under control. Maybe no one on YouTube showed us a possible answer. The price was around 28,601. Time to stop using Bybit review. Levels in a Fibonacci set always make sense if there are lots of crazy bars showing the direction of the block. It shows me that my biggest problem is not my looks. RXY could rise quickly after Fibonacci retracement. I think I should show you the last Fibonacci retracement. Again, the Bybit procedure is safe and therefore not used in the present situation. Above, we time travel through the hyperactive prefrontal cortex. Of course, it's much lower than it is now and the gap is widening, but it's still in line with Coinbase plans. Of course, you can still use the standard procedure of using the Bitstamp structure. Bitcoin has caused quite a stir in and around the cities where the dollar is strongest. Choose your height clearly. Maybe you don't understand as clearly as you would like. Will the value of Bitcoin go up or down? Given what we said yesterday and the progress we are making towards the new normal, our construction numbers are excellent and set a positive pattern for daily construction. The value of Bitcoin is falling these days. It became more and more important. Coinbase charts don't show a drop in volume, but Bybit does. Bitstamp's charts effectively capture this downtrend by lowering the truth bar. This assumes that you have the same savings as before, regardless of whether you decide to divorce. I think it was a good ending, a good, satisfying ending. Due to the popularity of Bitcoin in this country, they are very wary of disrupting existing business activities. Because we operate in this market, we need to provide quick updates on the latest changes to the Bitcoin registry. Question 1: Bitcoin's heyday is over. We showed our words with tears. In my next article, I will answer this exact question when I started to lose faith in Bitcoin as a whole. In this direction, we can expect Bitcoin trading volume to drop significantly and return to previous lows. Because of this potential, we must focus on classic cases of bullying and aggression to identify the third cycle of this story. If this leads to a crisis, what is our next real spending target? The central target is the Fibonacci retracement of 0.618, around 24,500, a sharp drop from the previous low. I completely agree that you are right. One of the best financial goals in the current situation is for Bitcoin to crash in the next 2 to 3 days. We will process your claim within a few hours. The edge continues. However, this can happen quickly if you don't take the necessary steps to achieve short-term security. It is not yet known where the Bitcoin trading conference in question will be held. In this particular case, focus on a time frame of about 4 hours and consider how to select a reasonable Fibonacci retracement level by analyzing all the important components. Raise your hand politely without dropping it. When Bitcoin finally gained popularity, it struggled with standard Fibonacci retracements with a moderate action outlook. Finally, a break above the previous high creates an important Fibonacci level or a completely different level that is hidden from us. The company clearly responded by continuing to raise costs above previous record levels. Something must be added. My position is that this area is currently the most marginalized area. Explanation: you must be prepared to solve specific problems and therefore focus on the main direction. I don't have to think about it. The words, Bitcoin horrendous, are written on the blackboard. Backslash 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 backslash. Asterisk 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 asterisk. House backslash 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 identifier asterisk 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 asterisk. If you think no one cares, please support this amazing new development. The situation is rapidly deteriorating. The starting value of Bitcoin is $26,900. The closure of the beautiful canal has virtually transformed this basic research facility. As the fundamental outlook for Bitcoin becomes clearer, liquidity generally increases and returns to strong, competitive levels. However, this Bitcoin proposal video explores the potential with huge fees and consistent positive cost signals. Based on historical data, the total value of Bitcoin seems uncertain at $28,000 and Bitcoin is trading at a low price. Currently, 35 million applications are compromised, which is the most important level from a liquidity perspective. Always use the latest tracked progress code. The webcast is currently live. There are 2 4-hour courses and 2 2-hour courses. Surprisingly, it is influenced by RSI signals and overbought conditions. Despite the negative signs, the Bitcoin Value Workspace performed very well, and the 47% misconception about the overall improvement turned out to be completely absurd. Anyway, we are gradually getting the problem under control. Maybe no one at YouTube gave us a possible answer. The price was around 28,601. Time to stop using Bybit Review. If there are a lot of crazy bars showing the development of blocks, the Fibonacci levels will be disconcerting. The biggest problem with my appearance is that it's barely noticeable. RXS could rise quickly after Fibonacci retracement. I think I should show you the latest developments of the Fibonacci game plan. Here too the Bybit procedure is safe and therefore not used in the present situation. Above, we time travel through the hyperactive prefrontal cortex. Of course, it's much lower than it is now and the gap is widening, but it fits perfectly with Coinbase plans. You can use the Bitstamp system in the same way, using standard procedures. Bitcoin has made waves in and around cities where the dollar is its most stable force. Choose your height clearly. Maybe you don't actually appreciate it as clearly as you expected. Will the value of Bitcoin go up or down? Given what I said yesterday and the new normal changes coming, our generation numbers are perfect and reflect a generally positive generation pattern. The value of Bitcoin is falling these days. It became more and more important. Coinbase chart is more bearish than Bybit's chart. Raster graphics push the boundaries of modern reality and define what truly decadent design is. This means your content remains relevant whether you share it or not. I think it went as expected and ended up being both critical and satisfying. Since Bitcoin has never existed in this country, they are very wary of disrupting existing business lines.